It's real talk with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's the local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this Monday. It is the 9th day of October, 2023, 6 o'clock straight up, which means it's time for Real Talk Memphis. Now, if for those of you who do check us out on Facebook, you will see that the setup is a little bit different tonight. We're having some minor technical difficulties, but we will get through it. Glad to have you with us. Hope that your week has gone well. I hope you had a good weekend. And today, I'm to understand, is a holiday. It was a holiday of some sorts. It was, I guess, Columbus Day. Is that what it is? October? Yeah, Columbus Day. And somebody was off today because the traffic wasn't that bad. But in any event, I hope that you all are doing fine. It is great to be back with you this week, back in the air chair. That head you see in the lower part of your screen, that's Bryn, by the way. He's my board producer, and kind of keeps us moving during this hour. I'm going to have to maybe get into the show just a little bit earlier tonight because one of my guests has some time constraints. And speaking of guests, I think we have a pretty good show for you tonight. But before we do that, there are many ways to get us. You can, of course, catch us right now on the radio, 91.7 on your FM dial, WYXR. We are also available on the WYXR app. On the TuneIn app. And as I stated, we are on Facebook Live tonight, so you can catch us there if that is your desired way of reaching out to us. Tomorrow, of course, once the show posts, you can catch us on YouTube. And as we are a podcast, you can catch us wherever it is you get your podcast. Now, in terms of our show tonight, we have a pretty good variety of guests. Last week, we were supposed to have County Commissioner Britney Thornton, but she was a bit tied up, and we couldn't get her. But she is going to join me tonight in just a little bit to talk about her first year of the County Commission and some of the more interesting issues that they have had to deal with so far this year. We're going to start the show off with Brett Batterson. Brett is the president and CEO of the Orpheum Theater Group. They have a new exhibit there, and I'm going to pose a question to you native Memphians and ones who have been around, say, since the 1960s. Do you remember a time when you went to the movie theater at the Orpheum or went to the Orpheum to watch a movie, and you had to walk all the way upstairs? Apparently, to as high as you could go, you had to walk up there for people that look like me. Black folks had to watch the movie. We couldn't enter down on street level, had to enter up high. Well, there is an exhibit that they recently opened up there. It's called the Balcony Project, and it is takes you back to those days. And I'm very curious to ask him about why the theater group decided they were going to do this and really what the significance is of it. I know I've asked a few people, and they say, oh, yeah, I remember when we had to go in at the very, very top of the Orpheum Theater to be able to watch a movie because we couldn't go in with everybody else. So looking forward to that conversation. And a bit later on in the show, Joyce Franklin Smith is going to join us. She's a nonprofit founder and president of HHARP. And That is a group that helps a lot of folks who are having financial issues and helping them to, get their things in order, as they move along in life, dealing with various financial challenges and other challenges. So I look forward to having that conversation. But before we get into all of that, let's quickly take a look at our birthdays. And I can't do that until I say, hit it, Brent. On this day, happy birthday going out to Shamika Burton. Noreen Tate celebrating today, as is Gerald Russell. Hilliard Lackey celebrating his birthday today. Let's see here. Teresa James is celebrating. Happy birthday to Tamika Cooperwood. Denise Thomas. Dathan Thigpen is celebrating his birthday today. Carrie Walker, and our good friend Melissa Pageant. Melissa is the mother of Adam, who was actually one of our interns here a couple of years back. So today is his mom's birthday, so very happy birthday to Melissa Pageant. And each and every one of you out there celebrating your birthday. I hope it's been a wonderful trip around the sun today, and your day has been filled with fun and laughter. And we look to be with you next year as we celebrate your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Bren. We do have a death to report tonight. Dr. Sybil Mitchell, who is the longtime associate publisher and columnist for the New Tri-State Defender, died last week after an illness. She was 66 years of age. Many of you who know about the Tri-State and have read the Tri-State have read so many of her stories. She was a very gifted writer. Indeed, she will be missed. Absolutely. Dr. Sybil Mitchell, dead at the age of 66. May your memory always be a blessing. So we didn't have this before we left you last week, but we do now. We have a mayor. We have an elected mayor. We had the election last Thursday, and the winner was Paul Young. He is our new mayor-elect. He will take office January 1st, 2024. He got about 28% of the vote. The turnout was not very high, as per usual here in this city. Turnouts are never very high. But in any event, he did win the race. Floyd Bonner came in second. I think Paul got about 28% of the vote, followed by Bonner with 26%, came in the seas. And then third was Willie Harrington, and fourth was Van Turner. So congratulations to Mayor-elect Paul Young. We all need to rally behind him, and we hope that once he takes office, it's going to be an amazing term. So let's all unite, Memphis. Let's all get behind him as we begin a new chapter in this city, January 1st of 2024. There is going to be a runoff in 3 of the city council races. District 2, 3, and 7 are all facing runoffs, and that will be on November 16th. So, I know runoffs don't do well in this town either, but look, you still have to elect 3 more city council people. So let's get out and vote on November 16th. And before I get out here and go to break, I want to say a prayer to the folks in Israel. We're dealing with another war. We're dealing with, of course, the Russian-Ukraine war. Now it looks like we're dealing with the Israeli and the Hamas war. Hamas bombed Israel Saturday afternoon. Right now, the death toll in Israel stands at over 700 people. 11 Americans were killed in that. Now Israel is full force going against Hamas and the Gaza Strip. This is a war, ladies and gentlemen, and it was unnecessary. It was completely caught off guard by everybody. Lots of loss of life on both sides already. So let us pray that there can be some resolution to this. The Hamas folks have kidnapped at least 100 of the Palestinian individuals, the Israelis, and said that they were going to execute them if there were more attacks that were not communicated on. So this is a really bad situation, so we need to pray for all those folks. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into a conversation with our first guest. His name is Brett Batterson from the Orpheum Theater Group. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
WYXR is supported by Minglewood Hall, presenting jazz guitarist and innovator Pat Metheny, live Tuesday, October 10th. More information regarding reserved seats at minglewoodhallmemphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome to Real Talk Memphis, and welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. And as I said at the beginning of the show, there is a very special exhibition that has opened at the Orpheum Theater downtown, and it has a lot to do with the history of civil rights in the city of Memphis. I'm very pleased to be joined by the president and CEO of the Orpheum Theater Group. His name is Brett Batterson. And Brett, it's great to see you again, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm good, Chip. Thanks for having me on your show.
Man, absolutely that. And so, this display is called the Balcony Project. And for people who are native Memphians who have lived here some period of time, this goes back to a time when movies were being shown at the Orpheum, and I want to make sure I get this correct. And during the time of segregation, and there were separate entrances for white and black, and the blacks had to go all the way upstairs to be able to make entry into the Orpheum to see the movie. Am I correct in that?
You are correct in that, but it actually predates the movies even. The Orpheum was built in 1928. Okay. And like most theaters in the South and actually across the whole nation, it had these separate entrances for black patrons. So from 1928 to 1940, the Orpheum was a vaudeville house with a separate entrance. And then from 1940 till 1963, when they closed it, it was the Malco Theater, and it had a separate entrance. So it's been we think of the Jim Crow era as just, the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Right. But it actually started before that.
Well, that's very interesting. And, I've talked to some people about this, some older folks who clearly remember those days having to enter, that high up in the movie theater about all of this. And this really was, again, Memphis was a city that was going through some racial separation back in those days, as were many cities in the South during that time. Brett, why was it important to open up this particular exhibit, and what was the thinking behind this?
Well, when I came to Memphis in 2016, I found out that the Orpheum had never torn out their old lobby for the black balcony entrance. Wow. Most theaters, wanted to reclaim that space and use it for something else. The Orpheum never did. It just became a storage space. So when I saw it, and I saw how small it was and how totally inequitable it was to the white patrons' entrance, I got to thinking that the opportunity existed to educate. At that time, my mind was just young people. We could educate young people by showing them the difference between these two lobbies. And that's how it all started. Through time, we decided to enlist help from Dr. Charles McKinney with Rhodes College, the head of the Africana Studies program there, and make some educational panels on the walls. And we hired a filmmaker named Davin Baptiste to interview people who remember the balcony from their youth, and they could tell their stories of entering through that balcony. So it became a whole immersive experience, educational experience. We work closely with the National Civil Rights Museum, and we end our exhibit by saying, to learn more, visit the National Civil Rights Museum, visit Slave Haven, all those type of places. So that's how the project came to be, and we couldn't have done it without the help of others in the community, like Dr. McKinney and the National Civil Rights Museum.
So people can actually come on specific days and times to actually see that space. Am I correct in that?
Yep, it's open to the public for 2 hours on Saturdays and 2 hours on Sundays. It's free. If you have a group or a school group that wants to see it, you can call to make a reservation, a special appointment. And all that information's on our website. Anybody can go to our website and find out more.
You're teaching history, and I know that the display hasn't been open, the exhibit hasn't been open that long. But have you started to get some feedback, Brett, on on this, and at least some of the takeaways that folks have who have actually been up there or remember those days as of yet? Have you started to get some feedback there?
Yeah, we're getting nothing but positive feedback. We sent an email actually to our database, our whole database last week, telling them that we'd opened it, and that's 180,000 people.
Okay.
And we got one negative email back. One guy wrote back and questioned why we were doing this. So I really think that most people understand the purpose. They understand that it's about teaching about our past so that we don't make those same mistakes in the future. And it's about making sure that people can realize just how unfair, inequitable, and truly horrible that whole period was for a certain group of our citizens of Memphis.
There is an effort that we've seen in various states around the country to deny history, that Black history to a lot of our young people in school and things like this. And so that's why I was really fascinated by when I heard about this and I got some information from you all about this. I thought that this was really, a very positive step in the right direction. I think it's very important for people who never had to experience this to understand that this was indeed something that many people experienced, and you are providing, an educational look back, as it were, to what was and really kind of how far we've come. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but does that sound about right?
That sounds perfect. You can put all those words in my mouth anytime you want. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I know you're on a tight deadline. I know you got to get out of here. I was told that you have to move on to another. You have something else that you need to take care of. But I had to. This was important for me, and like I said before, what you're doing is you're teaching living real history, basically without the sugarcoat. This is where it was. This is what happened. This is what people experienced. And I know that even though this was during that time when a lot of Black folks dealt with situations like this, it became like a regular deal. And I would imagine, though, when it ended, and I think you said, 1963?
Well, the Malco closed this balcony in 1963. The law changed in 1964.
Okay. So when so what during between one period and another period, or the year later, what was the interim there, or was there?
Well, the Malco and most of Memphis, because of some great people like Elaine Turner, who's featured in our film, who protested segregation, the Malco actually made the decision before the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964 to close the balcony. And so there was just that 1 year lag between the rest of the country and the Malco.
Well, you know what, man? Kudos to you and all the folks that are involved in this particular project, because, again, this is the kind of thing that if you don't know, where you've been, you don't know where you're going. And this is the part of our past, and we emphasize the word past, but you're giving people an opportunity to see this. Is there a specific time, Britt, like in terms of length, as to how long this exhibit's going to be around?
Oh, we're not planning on closing it.
Okay.
In my mind, it will be a permanent part of the Orpheum Theater Group.
Well, man, listen, thank you so much for thinking that way, and thank you for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate it. And this project is very, very important, and I urge anybody, who really wants to understand the history that involves your theater group to go and check it out. Brett Batterson, President and CEO of the Orpheum Theater Group. Brett, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I can't thank you enough, Chip. Nice words, and I appreciate them.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, before we go to break, I just want to urge you all, if you've not seen it, you need to go down and see, this is living history. What happened to us as the people during segregation. We weren't allowed to do a lot of things, and that included, entering the Amalco Theater during that time in our country's history. But Brett is opening this up to people, and kudos to him and all the folks involved in this particular project. I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to continue the broadcast. We're going to talk to County Commissioner Britney Thornton about a few things. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Very happy to be here, back in the air chair on this Monday evening. I hope you're doing well. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page, and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
WYXR is supported by Graceland Live, presenting Black Violin on Thursday, October 19th at the Graceland Soundstage. For nearly 2 decades, Black Violin has been merging string arrangements with modern beats and vocals and building bridges and communities along the way. More information available at gracelandlive.com. WYXR is supported by Mempho Presents, celebrating Weizsäcker's 10th anniversary with a beer and music festival on Saturday, October 21st. BAM Fest will feature music from Memphis and beyond, with artists such as Lucero, Hank Sullivan, and Nathan Vanderpool from Blitz and Trapper. Simon Spine and Dead Soldiers will also take the stage. Intermissions will feature sets from DJ Leroy and live performances from the Stone Crush Memphis Modern Soul compilation. More information is available at memphopresents.com.
The Indie Memphis Film Festival returns to Midtown Memphis to celebrate Film for All from October 24th through the 29th with over 150 feature and short films, including world premieres, restored classics, award season hopefuls, and more. Tickets and passes are available now at indiememphis.org.
Brought to you by Iris Collective, presenting Memphis native and violin phenomenon Randall Gooseby with New York Times best pianist Zhu Wang in concert October 28th at the University of Memphis, a pay-what-you-wish experience. Learn more about these rising stars at iriscollective.org. WYXR is supported by Mempho Presents and GPAC, presenting Victor Wooten and the Wooten Brothers on Friday, November 3rd. The Wooten Brothers combine the talents of bassist Victor Wooten, Steve Miller Band keyboardist Joseph Wooten, guitarist Reggie Wooten, and drummer Roy Futureman Wooten. More information available at gpacweb.com. The Sunset Jazz at Court Square concert series is back every second Sunday, May through October, featuring Memphis's top jazz artists at 62 North Main in downtown Memphis. More information and the lineup are available at sunsetjazzmemphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on a beautiful Monday evening in the city. Temperatures this week are going to be in the low 80s. I hope you get out and enjoy. Next week, we're going to be more fall-like. Temperatures over the weekend will be in the mid to upper 60s for the high. And I think this cool streak will be with us at least through next week as well. So get out and enjoy it. I asked Lola and Bren how their weekends were. Of course, Lola, like she does, she's a DJ and she gigs all over town. And she said she was off yesterday, which is good. Get a little rest. And everybody's hanging in there. Everybody's doing okay. I hope you are as well. I'm thinking about, while I'm waiting for Britney Thornton to check in here, I'm thinking about the interview we just had a minute ago with Brett Batterson over at the Orpheum Theater, and and the balcony project. Britney said she didn't get. She said, "Can you text me the information, Lola?" Can you check? Okay, well, I don't know where Britney is, but she needs to check her junk email. And y'all forgive me while I'm trying to reach her again, junk or spam, because it generally goes there. But we have this problem every night. This is live radio, and it's hard to get signal in this particular room, and so we're sometimes we have to play it by ear. Let's see. All right. And see. But anyway, this balcony project we were talking about a minute ago, it's a part of the civil rights history of Memphis, Tennessee. And I don't know what really inspired Brent to do this, but I mean, clearly this is something that has been going on for a while. When I ask folks about it who have spent some considerable time in the city, just to listen to something like that is as much as going to a movie, going to the Malco Theater. But they just accepted it as for what it was. It was a part of experience. It was a part of the American experience here, the Memphis experience here. And it takes people like Elaine Turner and a lot of different historians to be able to tell you about how all of that was versus where things are now. And now, when people come to Memphis for these historical civil rights tours, you can actually add that to it, and add the Orpheum Theater to it for what it is today versus what it was back in the day. Always providing entertainment, but, absolutely some separate but unequal stuff going on back in those days. I'm going to take another break, and when I come back, hopefully we'll have Britney on the line. This is Real Talk Memphis. Don't go away. As I said, live radio is what it is. We rock and roll around here. So quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Hey, ever get lonely without WYXR?
Lonely? I've got my cat.
Well, now you can have WYXR too, right in your pocket. Listen live, explore past archives, and follow us on social media. It's like a radio party and everyone's invited.
Even my cat?
Especially your cat. Plus, you'll get up-to-the-minute station updates. It's like having a personal DJ that doesn't scratch your furniture.
Sounds perfect. Hold on, I'm downloading it right now.
Join the fun and never miss a beat with WYXR. Download the WYXR app today from the Apple App Store or Google Play and bring the party wherever you go.
WYXR doesn't go to sleep at night. We keep the music moving. Memphis music, that is. When our DJs clock out, our automation clocks in with music right from our community. Produced, performed, and written by Memphians, or in Memphis. Summer hits, and some are rarely heard, but they all tell the story of one of the world's greatest music cities. Visit wyxr.org for playlist and scheduling information. Email submissions@wyxr.org to let us hear your Memphis music. We may just play it.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging in there with us on Real Talk on this Monday evening. Chip with you, and as promised, I have our good friend, because she's been on this show before, District 10 County Commissioner Britney Thornton is joining me right now. I see her. Hey, Britney, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, just fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good. This is perfect timing. We just got back from Nashville. We toured a couple of facilities there.
Oh, okay. Well, see, everything works out the way it's supposed to. That's absolutely right. Yeah. So listen, we missed you last week, but I know you were a bit busy with County Commission, and that always tends to go long. You just recently celebrated your first year as a County Commissioner, and I wanted to find out from you how this first year has been.
It's been an amazing journey. People ask all the time, is it what you thought it would be? And the answer is no. Hands down, I could never have imagined all of the opportunities that have presented themselves for me. So I feel like I have a million people on my back all the time. So it's a lot of pressure, but it's more potential. So I've enjoyed learning about the different issues, and it's a very powerful role. So I take it very seriously, and I'm just excited to see all the work that's been done in year one and all the work that can be done over the next 3 years.
It's very challenging. As you say, you represent a district with thousands of people, and a lot of folks have a lot of specific needs and issues and concerns and wants, and you have to try to juggle all of that. I would imagine it takes a lot of energy, but I think ultimately, the fight is to make things better overall for everyone. Am I correct in that? In our county?
Yeah, for sure. Uh-huh. For sure. You start to see sweeping issues that go beyond your district. And then I think that's the part that kind of surprised me the most, is just how passionate I am about just issues that face Shelby Countyans. I have a newfound passion for workers. So, wanting to get workers their proper compensation. We're doing a wage study, or we're trying to get a wage study paid for, because it's been about 7 years since we had a wage study done. So it's just a lot of issues, everything from the prisons to Regional 1 to, universal pre-K. There's so many issues that face us every day. And so it's just really cool just to see our role on the legislative side of things and all of the issues that we live with every day.
One of the things that you all were dealing with last week had to do with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and some ordinances. There were at least 3 of them from what I can remember, and 2 of them were passed by you, the County Commission. One of them was not. Then I came to find out that these ordinances, I guess, are in name only, because the sheriff, being an elected official, does that have to comply with them? Am I correct in that?
Yeah, so we had a pretty heated conversation about what was the capacity of us as legislators to actually execute. And according to legal opinion, we only have the authority to make requests to a fellow elected. So we, in essence, it's very interesting in terms, ordinances, they codify in local law. And so a resolution can be changed with a certain amount of votes. So I'm glad to see them put into ordinances, because I think it just kind of amplifies like how serious of an issue it is. And there's interestingly also a pathway for that third ordinance that didn't pass to come back, because we can do a motion to reconsider. This is something I'll be posting about a little bit later, because it's going to get a little political. So we actually do have the votes to pass all three. One of the commissioners stepped away to make a call. She missed the vote. And so that one failed on a technicality. So it's very interesting.
It is very interesting. But can they be, can they be enforced? Now, he is an elected official, and I heard that argument more than a few times. And I know one of the ordinances, he said, no, we're not going to do that. I can't remember which one it was. But, can they be enforced, Britney?
So, there are many different ways to skin a cat in politics. So can they be enforced? I think it depends on just how much of a strong stance the commission wants to take. You know, we approve the budget. So there are different points that we can insert our energies. I don't get the sense that any of my colleagues will really want to go that far, but it's more so the same delegation of constituents that elects us into office also elects our sheriff. And so it's a posture to equip our constituents to say, we recognize that what you're saying has validity. Let's pass it off to the decision maker for that person to actually execute it. Because all these things that we are discussing in the ordinances are going to fall under the purview of the sheriff. And so he and his staff are the best persons to actually, execute. And so to me, as I presented to my colleagues, are just taking a stance to say that the data shows that there is a need for him to look a little closer, dig a little deeper, and put some resources towards these issues. So that's what I was going for. I respect the sheriff's authority to do what is best for his constituents, but I also understand that sometimes, constituents have more access to us to tell us what they need. And so, the sheriff doesn't have a routine meeting where he's convening before the public. Mm-hmm. So that's been the question of how much, public scrutiny can the everyday constituents have over their elected official as a sheriff.
Got it. So, you said that this first year has been a bit challenging. As you move forward, what are some of the other items or issues or that are on your agenda that you would like to see, laws or rules or some aspect of either or, as you continue to move forward through your journey with the county commission, what does your agenda look like moving forward?
So for District 10, I'm focusing on heavy organizing. It's important for me for every single resident in District 10 to know what neighborhood they belong to. So you're going to see this year, I'm really focusing on supporting neighborhood organizations, getting their paperwork structure, getting their programming plans together. I'll be working closely with each of the leaders in my district, and then creating an actual neighborhood map that shows boundary to boundary where neighborhoods exist. Mm-hmm. We have so many District 10 residents that are just living in areas of the district that literally have no type of first line of defense. And to me, that's the best gift that I could give back to my constituents, so that we can see a pathway for all people to have access to these resources, and an advocate in me as their representative. It's very difficult for me to represent people who have no type of channel to get to me. And so that's first and foremost for me. And then I'm focusing on three big issues: housing, transit, and economic development. Definitely over the next 3 years, I plan to really look at the vacancy and blight in District 10, which we're one of the top 4 districts that has the most vacancy and blight. We've received data from the assessor's office that shows the districts where there's high vacancy. So there's a housing capacity pilot program that I'm trying to get funded, and that's an exciting thing that's shaping up. It's innovative, it's new, and it's going to build capacity within the district. And then transit, I really want that to be a huge Shelby County deliverable, where we get a fully funded transit system, and we have something that is on track to be high functioning and serving all interests here in Shelby County. And then the economic development piece will just fall into it. I really want to do some capacity building for our workforce and get people situated in communities where they live, work, and play.
Well, that sounds like an ambitious agenda, young lady. And but if anybody can get it done, you can. I know I've seen you in action at the commission meeting, and your colleagues. I know you have to have buy-in from your colleagues, and I know that's very important. How's everybody getting along? Bless you. How's everybody getting along so far on the commission?
We're working it out. I know we had at this leadership transition a little bit of a moment, but I think that we're starting to respect each other's strengths more and just learn each other's personalities. It's there's a transition phase. I really appreciate a number of my colleagues who are just such good legislators. Y'all don't get to see them behind closed doors, but some of my colleagues are really putting in overtime. And I just applaud them for their efforts and just the ways that they're contributing. I love the diversity. We have me as like a novice legislator all the way up to Commissioner Brooks, who has gone up and down, the government ladder. And we all just kind of like when we're on the floor together, I love to see how we bounce off each other. A lot of times I'm bringing in stuff and like just kicking the dust, but my colleagues will like really like come in with their understanding, their expertise, and just really shape it into something that is fruitful for Shelby County. So I love this delegation. I really applaud, the Black Caucus in particular, because I think that we're responsive, and I think that there is a receptive ear when there are issues that are particularly disenfranchising Black people in Shelby County. And so we know that the majority of people here in Shelby County are identifying as African American, and that just matters a lot to me, coming from a predominantly Black district and also living in a predominantly Black community.
Britney Thornton, County Commissioner, District 10. Britney, it is so good to have you on the show again and get updates from you. I wish you nothing but the best. I know you will be a strong advocate, as you have been already, for your district. And I look forward to seeing really big things from you coming down the road, my friend.
All right. Stay tuned. I'm working hard.
Thank you, Britney, for coming on the show. You and I will be chatting again down the road. For sure.
Please. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much. Britney Thornton, ladies and gentlemen. She is County Commissioner in District 10, and she laid it out. She laid out her agenda, and I have no doubt that she will get the job done. We're going to take our final break of this broadcast, and when we come back, we're going to delve into the nonprofit world right here on the Monday edition of Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. We'll be right back.
If you like real talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Music Export Memphis presents the Tambourine Bash, Thursday, October 12th at the historic Overton Park Shell. This annual celebration of collaboration is a one-of-a-kind night of Memphis music featuring more than 30 musicians and collaborative sets, culminating in a finale super jam produced by Royal Studios' Boo Mitchell. All proceeds power Music Export Memphis's grant programs for Memphis musicians. Ticket information and event details can be found at musicexportmemphis.org.
WYXR is supported by the On Stage at the Halloran Center featuring the Travelin' McCurrys on Friday, October 13th. The McCurry brothers were born into the bluegrass tradition and have teamed up with a line of musicians to take the tradition of the genre to new heights. More information at orpheum-memphis.com.
Monster Market carries a curated collection of strange art and dark maker-made goods for weirdos like you. Back in person this year, Monster Market will be open October 13th through the 18th at the Medicine Factory with their opening night party on Friday the 13th. More info at memphismonstermarket.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Monday night. My next guest is someone I've known for many years. She's always had a heart for the community, and that is why she is a nonprofit founder, and she's the president of an organization with the initials HHARP, which she will talk about in just a minute. Please welcome our good friend, Miss Joyce Franklin Smith. And Joyce, excellent to see you. Thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you for inviting me, Chip. It's been a long time coming.
Okay. It's been a long time. She had to take that little shot there. It's been a long time coming. Well, we got you here, and I'm glad you are here. For people who don't know Joyce, tell us a little bit about your organization. What does HHARP stand for?
Helping Hand Asset Relief Program.
Mm-hmm.
We have been in existence since 2014, and we assist families who have fallen on hardships and who have maybe lost a loved one, who didn't have any life insurance, any resources. And we assist those families with monetary assistance. We donate urns. We donate clothing, obituary preparations, anything from A to Z that deals with the funeral and the burial. We assist those families with those services.
What made you decide that you wanted to do something like this? Because the things that you just mentioned, a lot of people deal with that. I mean, we see death every day, and a lot of folks, have to go through the struggle of trying to plan and may not have planned correctly. You're providing a really important service, but I guess I would like to know what made you decide to do this specifically.
Well, back in 2012, I had lost my youngest brother. He was like 20. He was young. He had a massive heart attack.
Oh, my.
And he didn't have a medical directive in place. He didn't have any insurance. And so I'm the oldest, and everything pretty much fell on me when it came to when it came to the time when he passed away. And so that what kind of got put on my heart, because I didn't want anybody to experience anything like that, to go through it by yourself, or just give you the resources, or just point you in the right direction of where to go. Because a lot of times you be so grief stricken that and it takes away from you grieving, actually, when you don't have the money or the funds there to lay your family to rest. And a lot of times the funeral homes, they call it a state of holding, and that the person will be left in a state of holding until you come up with those funds. And because that's why you hear sometimes some people may take them a month, 2 months to have their burial services.
Sure.
That's because the family is still trying to raise money for the family.
Death is a very emotional issue for everybody, and as you say, when you're dealing with grief. And the depression and all of the emotions that go along with this, it really does pay to have somebody in place, or an organization in place, that you can pick up the phone and call. And do you help them with planning a funeral or what have you, from A to Z, Joyce?
I just said, for example, we had a call them our angels, but we had a guy. He didn't have anybody. He didn't have no family, and so he didn't have clothing. So we donated a suit for him, and back at the time we were able to get him a spot at the Shelby County Cemetery. And we were out there, and we, were able to do the eulogy service, because no one should have to go alone, So we were there from A to Z with him, and we did the obituary just in case somebody did come forward. So we do have an obituary. We found one of his good friends provided all his pictures, and so we were there for him when nobody else was there for him. So we did show up for him, and was able to help with everything from planning it. flowers and the eulogy and everything. So yeah, we were able to assist him.
Tell me about you're entering into working with families, victims of homicide. I believe that's something that you're working with. Explain that to our listeners.
Okay, right. We just we have partnership with the Mia Foundation, and what they do, they help families of homicide victims, and that way, because you still have a lot of families who don't have the resources to bury their loved ones after such a tragic event. And so we do help assist those families with funeral and burial assistance, because sometimes, it takes a village really to help when someone is going through that emotional grief, and it takes the burden out the families, knowing that there's somebody helping them, along the way. And so that's one of the things that we have a partnership with the Mia Foundation. And they are actually having an event coming up October the 21st at 4:00 at the Renaissance Center. And it's going to be a gala for, homicide victims and their family members. Yeah. So like I said, we are just happy to be a bridge and help other, nonprofit organizations and have a form of partnership with that organization.
So it sounds like you all do quite a lot, for quite a few people, depending on the situation and circumstances. Joyce, if someone needed your services or wanted to know more about your services and what you all do, how can we get in touch?
They can visit our website, which is www.hharpmemphis.org. And they will be able to see all the work we have done in the community. And we try to keep it updated, everything, because like now we're working on rebranding and doing some website design. So they'll be able to visit the website, and if they want to make a donation, they can make a donation on the website as well.
Absolutely, because you said something that really stuck with me a few minutes ago. You said it takes a village. I mean, you're working with so many people, but you also need the partnerships of being able to work with other people and being collaborative in your efforts. So this isn't just a singular, your organization, but you do really work with a myriad of people, do you not?
Right. Mm-hmm. And we do have a working relationship with the funeral homes. Like I said, a lot of times they will contact us if they know we have funding. We'll, assist those families, because it was an incident that happened maybe a couple of weeks ago. A young man was a hit and run here in Memphis, and his mother didn't have any life insurance. His mother reached out to us, and so we're going to be able to assist that family with donating our urn and donate monetary to help, because he's going to have a cremation service. So we were able to step in and help his mother.
Wow. That's wonderful. You're being a blessing. You guys are angels over there. And, again, thank you for what you do for so many who need so much, because, we're living in a city and a time now where, violence is a pretty regular event in our city. And I'm sure that there are a lot of folks that need your services. But really appreciate you taking time to come on the show, Joyce. It's good to see you.
No, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be a guest on the show.
I'm sorry it took me so long.
No. And also, I do want to mention too, Chip, a lot of people in the world we living in, because I just try to be honest, a lot of people not in the church like we should, because I know I don't go like I need to go. And that's another thing. A lot of people not connected in the community, with those organizations. So we, like I said, we assist all families, everybody. So so that's another thing that we do. Help those families.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. Best of luck, best of success in all that you do to help so many. Really appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you down the road.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. All right, thanks. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that puts the cap on this edition of Real Talk Memphis. I'm glad if you stayed with us. I'm glad you did stay with us as Bryn plays this out. We are going to be on our way Now, next Monday, next week, we're going to be in Pledge Week around here. We're going to be raising money because, you know what, we can't keep this station on the air without you and your financial support. So we're going to have a special edition of the show next week. Lola is going to be on the show with me because, well, you know, she's here right now. And we're going to have another guest. And we're going to all talk a little bit about our experiences here at WYXR. Lola, relatively new to the radio side of things around here, so I look forward to talking with her about that. And, of course, raising money for this fine radio station. So for all of us here at Real Talk, for Nicole, for Lola, and for Brent, I'm Chip. Be safe, be careful, and we look forward to talking to you real soon. And we are out.